All right, good morning. Hey, TGIF, I love it that Jody seems to always be the first one on. Jody, kudos for being the early bird gets the worm. Nilsa, right on. It's going to be a great day. It's going to be an awesome weekend. I have with me one of my very close friends. He's also a referral partner on my team, which is what we're going to talk about. His name's Kyle Dilworth with Goosehead. Good morning, Kyle.
Good morning. Happy Friday.
Yeah, I want to play the awkward silence button, but it's gone. So, hey, this is what we're going to go over today. We're going to go over, again, 5 things I like to do. I like to do sets of 5. We're going to talk about, A, what is a referral team? Main benefits of referral team. Tips that very successful listing agents that I work with are using inside and outside of your brokerage. And then tips that very successful buyer's agents that are using that are inside and outside your brokerage. I work with a lot of other realtors with a lot of best practices. I'm going to share some of those with you guys today. And the 5th thing is Q&A. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to accept all of your questions. And at the very end, we're going to do like a fire round, like a laser pew, 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 fire round of all your questions. So ask them away. I'm going to answer them at the very end, okay?
I was going to answer them.
You're going to answer them? Gosh, it's hard this morning. Hey, and if you haven't noticed, Kyle and I are joining you from Maui. Tickets are super cheap, so we flew there last night. We're having a good time. If you guys want to join us, we're going to go dive in tomorrow morning. So let's get rolling. Topic 1. All right, what is a referral team? Kyle, do you want to give your definition or you want me to start rolling?
You go ahead.
Okay. Hey, referral team. I'm going to make a very clear differentiation here. A referral team is anyone in your ecosystem that contributes to your service, not the product. Okay? There's a very big difference between a service and a product. Okay? How would you define referral team, Kyle?
So a referral team is going to be like anybody in your ecosystem that enhances the transaction or has a role in a transaction that may be beyond your specialty. So somebody like for me, as an insurance agent, having a lender, having realtors in my network, having title reps, home warranty companies, people like that, that I feel comfortable with referring out or referring clients out when they need an additional resource.
Hey, that's a really good point. I like that you use the word enhance the experience. Okay, so some examples of them, and I'm going to go from kind of lower level touch points to very, very influential touch points. People that can significantly enhance your client's relationship, which will lead to a greater sphere of influence, i.e. greater referrals for the future. Okay. Someone that you guys, I highly recommend you sit down, have lunch with, and understand their business model is your inspector, your roofer, pool guy, trades, all of them. It's very common right now that inspectors and roofers, actually, a lot of them are taking your client's personal information and selling them to utility concierge type companies. That's important to know if they're doing that, because now there's a third party entering your client's referral ecosystem that you're unaware of, and that may make some clients uncomfortable. I know I didn't like it when some random person called me and said my inspector, sold their information to them. Everyone knows title. That escrow officer is more important than I think a lot of people give credit for. That escrow officer really enhances and protects that final experience and makes closing fun and exciting. So I'm going to use the word fight for your title company. You don't necessarily have to fight for it, because if the other agent on the other side is also fighting for theirs, they probably have a really good one as well. And that may be a good opportunity for you to increase your network of good escrow officers.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, cool. Lender, we all know lender. Lender's very important, right? You can find the most wonderful house in the world, but if things don't line up and if it's not a smooth experience and your client had a bad experience with a title company or a lender, they are significantly less likely to refer you in your service in the future, right? So your future success depends more on the ecosystem of the title and the lender than we give credit for. Comments on that?
That's why I feel so comfortable referring clients to Brandon, because I know they're going to have a great experience. Right?
Yeah, regardless of who you use in any of these categories, it's so critical that you know them, you like them, and you trust them, so that your clients experience a very similar relationship. Insurance is a big one for me. It's also a big one for realtors and for clients in general. A lot of people don't know what insurance agents do. My client had a really bad experience years ago, ended up buying a house, went with a phenomenal insurance company, had great insurance, but that agent was a little lazy. Outside of the option period, finally looked up the information in the clue system. A house had outstanding water claims. Essentially, the seller took the money and ran. My client had to back out, lost some earnest money. So it was a really bad experience. I know that doesn't happen with really good agents. Good agents are on top of it. Kyle's one of those. That is a referral team. Next, we're going to dive into main benefits. You want to add anything? Am I missing any big referral partners that we should be concerned about?
No, I think you're doing great.
All right, on to topic 2. All right, main benefits of a referral team. I'm going to use a triangle approach, and I want you to think of the difference between if you were to buy a new car, what that experience would look like if you went into a Sewell or a Park Place Lexus versus if you were to just go online and buy it on an auto trader, okay? One of them is a very clear product. When I'm searching for a certain type of car, I can go on Auto Trader and I may be able to buy it for $30,000. And it's a product, it's delivered to my door. If everything works out perfectly, I might be happy with it. It is just a product. When it comes time for service and all these other things, now I have to go out and I have to continue to do work and find all these things. Versus a Sewell service, when you enter, or a Park Place service, when you enter that building, from the receptionist to the mechanic, to the sales agent, to the financing team, every individual is reinforcing the service of quality and value, and that service continues through multiple touch points, from birthdays to anniversaries, to when you service your car, you just drop it off, you get a new one. Now, instead of paying $30,000, you may pay $33 or $34. But what you're paying for is that ongoing service that many people find more valuable than the product. So the main benefit to that continued service is continued touch points. You're always top of mind. You're always engaged in providing that client value, right? We are not just selling a home, right? We are helping our client understand real estate, find the home that they want to raise a family in or that they want to start with, and then continue to nurture that relationship, providing ongoing service, whether it be tax appraisal issues or it be looking for their second or third house. Am I missing anything?
No, I think you're doing great.
Okay. Another main benefit, faster closing. When you have a referral team, title, insurance, lender, inspector, who are all on the same page, who operate with integrity, who do things ahead of time, who communicate effectively, you can reduce a 35-day average closing to 25. Just saving 10 days on a closing, you do that 2 or 3 times a year, that'll free up your time to either go to Maui like me and Kyle did, or close 4 or 5 more deals. So that's a phenomenal way to increase your business. Lower fallout. Fallout's a big deal. You really want to be able to communicate to your client that I'm going to help you find the home that you love, and then we're going to close on it. And that promise, actually, it sounds simple, but it's not as simple as it looks. So it's so important that the title company, the insurance agent, and the lender have your back, support you through the process, so there's not fallout there. You don't want fallout, because you fall out in the first house, every single one after that, the client's like, ugh, it becomes harder and harder to close, right? Let's talk about appraisal waiver. All right. When you have your team rocking and rolling, a lot of times nowadays we're seeing appraisal waivers for good clients in properties that have a lot of comparables. Right. That's a really, really important deal that I'm going to talk more about when we talk about buyer agents tips and tricks. Not selling your client's info. I can't get into that enough. I was furious when I got a call from some random utility company and they're like, oh yeah, I'm like, how'd you get my information? They're like, oh, your inspector gave it to us. I'm like, that's not cool. I never got anything on it. I'm not a big fan of that. I don't like random people coming into my referral network and ecosystem. It feels uncomfortable. It feels salesy. Marketing and events. Kyle's been a big part of that. Talk to your referral partners on your team and ask them for tips and tricks. Hey, do you do any marketing? Do you do any events? Do you want to co-event? Do you want to co-market together so that we can continue to say thank you to our clients? Kyle, I know that you do a lot of that.
Yeah, co-marketing is great. There's a lot of great things that come from it. I like to basically build a brand as a team that can really, really help. And going back to a little bit earlier, having people that know each other in your referral network, everything moves like a well-oiled machine, right? So if you guys are co-marketing together, if you guys are friends, you guys trust each other, everything works a lot smoother. So
I think the clients can feel that too.
yeah.
They can feel in their heart, in their soul, in their mind when everyone in the transaction cares about them. The comfort level and the trust level kind of exponentially increases, and they're more likely to refer their friends and family into that ecosystem.
Right.
We use the term ecosystem because we're not men on islands. We are right now. We're in Maui, but it's not about just me. It's about my entire team, so that we can continue to provide throughout the future. Let's talk about consistent service message. I like the Capital Grill example. Okay. Yes, I could go to Applebee's. No shame on Applebee's. I could go to Applebee's and I could spend $12 on one of their steaks. I'm going to experience a different interaction when they check me in, to when they sit me down, to when they bring my food. If something's wrong, it's a hassle. It's like, you know the experience when you walk into a TGI Fridays and Applebee's versus when you go to a Capital Grill. From the moment you call to make a reservation to when you get into your bed at night after you're done eating, you're like, there's a big smile on your face, like, that was awesome. Because every single part of that transaction reinforces the value of everything that you did. It's not about the food, which is the product. It's about the full service, right? And we talked about Sewell and Carbine. So those are some of the main benefits. Are there any that I'm missing?
No, I think that's great.
Okay. Hey, if you're out there and you know of some benefits that you've experienced, chat that in, and we're going to talk about that. I'm going to highlight that when we get to 5 Q&A, okay? Next topic.
Passing the praise.
Yeah. That's really cool. We're going to go into that in 5. That's going to be really important when we get into Q&A. Don't deviate from track, Kyle. Okay. Tips and tricks that some successful listing agents that I work with inside and outside of your brokerage use. Okay. The goal of the listing agent, you hear highest and best all the time, right? Highest and best offer, highest and best offer. That's really important. But what comes before highest and best is your promise to your client, the listing agent's promise to the client is, I'm going to sell your house on this date or before. That's so important, right? Because when you sell your house, you're going to live someplace else. So there's so much timing involved. So highest and best is very important. But if things don't happen as it's supposed to, highest and best doesn't matter, right? We all know that. If I promise my client I'm going to sell your house on May 3rd, and I have this highest and best offer, they're super happy. And if it doesn't close till May 20th, because some buyer financing or some insurance issue or some survey or engineer, whatever it is, there's a million reasons, my client's not happy. They're probably not going to use me to list again, right? So that's very important to understand is highest and best means nothing if you don't close on time. So what are some of the top listing agents doing? I use the term, be like the builder. What does that mean? As a listing agent, your fiduciary responsibility is to represent the seller. And one way that you can properly present offers to the seller is when you present them, it's not always about highest and best, always. It's about what is the likelihood of closing on time, right? And what builders do, kudos to the builders, is they require that their in-house lender look at everyone that applies. Yeah, there's a lot of reasons for that from, they pay for that service, so they need leads and all those types of things. But another thing that it does, which is phenomenal, is it almost guarantees a close rate.
Right.
Because now they know, the person selling the service and the product knows, and they're good to go. So as a listing agent, a lot of the successful listing agents I see doing are saying, I want to see a full approval. I don't want to see some pre-approval generated on some random.com website. I want to see a full approval. And 2, I want to talk to that lender, like on the phone, like right now, 8 o'clock on Sunday. And I don't want to call a 1-800 number, which means you're probably going to need a local lender. So as a listing agent, you have a lot of influence over, hey Kyle, I love your client's offer. It's wonderful, but I'm going to need it with a local lender, and I want to see a full approval. I'd like to see like a DU or an LP approve eligible. I want it to go through underwriting. I need to be able to tell my client, I have 15 other offers. So if you want me to take that seriously, let's be serious about this offer letter. All right, so that's one thing I see a lot. It doesn't matter. There's a lot of great local lenders out there. I'm always happy to help, and I know a lot of, Kyle works with great ones too. I'm sure you guys have great ones. It's so important nowadays, in order for you to deliver on your promise to sell the house on a certain date, that you tie up that financing. COVID has thrown wrenches in a ton of financing out there. A lot of local lenders as well are correspondents or brokers, which means they're going to smash and beat the rate 95% of the time of any of these big national banks. All the internet banks are struggling to compete with any sort of local broker or correspondent. So not only is that person making an offer in your house going to get a better deal, but you're going to double your close rate. You're going to be more likely to close on time every time. That's very important.
It's a win-win.
It is a win-win. I couldn't agree more. I'm going to give kudos to Hannah and Kim and Susan and Shana. In November and December, there were a lot of deals where they were kind of, the buyer was buying a house inside the brokerage that the seller was selling, and we did a lot of the, hey, want to make sure you're approved here and there. And man, deals were closing in 12, 13, 14 days, buy, sell. It was super smooth, super easy. The clients had a phenomenal transaction. They got everything they wanted, rave reviews. So I am so proud of Kim, Hannah, Susan, Shana, and I feel like I'm missing someone, but they did a great job kind of navigating that so that their clients had a great experience. Great job. Buyers agents, you're up next. All right, buyers agents. Key word here is make it easy to accept.
No way.
Yeah, I know, right? Some of the top most successful buyers agents, I mean, they really put a bow on everything. And I'll give you an example. We've already talked about full approved client, right? And if they're making cash offers on a property, just have that bank statement ready. So when you send it to the listing agent, you're like, hey, we're buttoned up, ready to close. Here's the bank statement. They got the money. Or they're fully approved. They're already went through underwriting. Let's do this, okay? You got a lender on your team, on your referral team that's rocking and rolling, just shoot them a text message to the property address. We're getting appraisal waivers. You got a good client and a good property, there's a 50-50 chance you're gonna get a waiver. I know that I called many listing agents in the last 6 months and said, hey, client's fully approved, we've been through underwriting, their income's COVID proof. I've already verified that they're not having fluctuating. Yeah. And on top of that, we got an appraisal waiver on your property. So if you accept my client's offer, we don't have to do an appraisal. Whoa, that just removes substantial risk from the listing agent and their client. So that increases the strength of the offer without making your client pay more for the home, right? So that's a great opportunity. Appraisal waivers are happening more frequently for really good clients. I highly recommend you engage with your lender and your insurance guy or gal more frequently now than you ever have before. Shoot them a text. Hey, this is the property we're thinking about looking. It's a great tool to help you increase the likelihood of being accepted because it is competitive right now.
And I didn't even know that existed just from where I'm sitting as an insurance agent and a previous home buyer. Maybe let your clients know that's a thing. That's huge.
Yeah. So appraisal waivers depend really on two things: strength of the client and then comparables for the property, right? So if my client's the best client in the whole world and I buy a property that's 100 acres out in the middle of nowhere, probably not going to get a waiver. Versus if I buy a property in a 100 unit subdivision where there's sales every 2 or 3 months, that's continuously, there's a lot of comparables. My client's a good client, 700 plus FICO, 5+% down, conventional loan, I'm probably going to get a waiver. So no promises, but it's worth the 10 seconds to text the lender. I love the appraisal waivers. Clients love them. It saves your client $600 and a lot of stress, right? Because at the end of the day, an appraisal is an opinion. It's an opinion of value. So not required. I would recommend an inspection much more than I would recommend an appraisal. That's
a phone call that I want to get from my real estate agent.
Yeah.
Hey, you're super awesome. Not going to require an appraisal from the lender, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
huge fan of that.
Let's do that.
Last but not least, one of the things that sets Acquisto Real Estate apart from other brokerages in the area is the quality of your service. And also, you guys have a lot of listings that are in-house. Kim, Hannah, Susan, Shana really leverage that strength. As the market becomes more and more competitive, and you have listings that are coming down the pipeline, share those with your team. Share them with your team. Because we had multiple clients in November and December who, before the house was on the market or just came on the market, from another agent in the brokerage. That's the only reason they knew about it. So when I talk to clients and I say, you're very fortunate to be working with Susan. I know it's a hot market and Susan's wonderful, but Susan also has access to a lot of listings before they come on the market because her brokerage is so influential and they have a lot of volume. So that's a huge strength you guys have. I work with a lot of other big teams that have that strength as well. But this is a great opportunity for you guys to communicate that value to your clients. Missing anything that I'm missing on buyer's agents?
No, you talk about influential. I mean, think about all the parties and events and things that we do, or that the Acquistos put together, and that just kind of helps the outreach. And think about how many people we see there that are in that quote unquote ecosystem that y'all have access to. I think it's a lot bigger than a lot of people, or that even you guys give it credit for.
Cool. All right, we are now on to Q&A. So get your questions in. All right. So we're gonna start with question number 1. Well, this is really a comment called "passing the praise." Yeah, Mike coined that term. It's a great term, passing the praise. It is praise, but it's also truth, right? Like, I'm not just gonna praise Kyle. Kyle saved me personally thousands of dollars on insurance. He saved my clients thousands of dollars. He's made the process so easy. I mean, every time my clients pick Kyle, I'm like, oh my gosh, thank the Lord. My processor, my closer, the title companies that we work with, they know Kyle, they know his binders, they know that if something changes last minute, he can adjust. It's amazing. Shana asked, insurance, are there other covered perils homeowners should consider? I have no idea. Kyle, that's you.
There absolutely are. We'll talk about all those things. I think we're gonna do an insurance episode maybe Tuesday, I think, is what we're gonna plan on doing there. So I'll review everything that you never wanted to know about insurance that is very important.
Man, I can't wait for that one. Kyle and I have some other fun upcoming episodes we'll get into in a second. Kyle's cute. Does he have a girlfriend? He actually has a wonderful wife and a little dog, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Stella?
It's our dog tour.
Dog. Okay, excuse me. Okay. Local lender is far superior to the national one. You are correct. Okay. I don't want to self-sell here. Really, there are a ton of great men and women who are local lenders out there that can get your clients closed in 10 days if they have to, which is kind of the legal limit, 10 business days. Okay. Don't do that to your lenders all the time because it clogs their system up. But it's important to know because that could be the difference maker. Instead of going up 10 grand an offer, hey, let's just close you before the end of the month. That's a big deal. So I couldn't agree more with that.
There's a lot of lenders out there that are way better at marketing than they are actually closing transactions.
Yeah.
Right? I'm sure you've seen that. I know I've seen it from my perspective because they're a hassle to work with because they'll call me the day of closing at 6 p.m. and be like, hey, we need a doc updated. You know, it happens sometimes, but certain lenders are, like I said, they're better at marketing and you'll find trends happen more often. So,
yeah, I got something that I want to leave you guys with because today is Friday and we're heading into the weekend. Okay. So I'm gonna talk about upcoming episodes and then I'm gonna leave you guys with a thought. It's really near and dear to my heart. My pastor was talking about last Sunday. So we're gonna move on to upcoming episodes. There are 3 upcoming episodes that we're gonna be filming that I think you guys are gonna want to share with your friends and family. Subscribe, chat on, follow. Number 1, tax planning as an independent contractor. We're gonna have a super secret guest. I can't tell you who it is, but tax planning is very, very critical. Tax is the biggest hole in your wealth, tax and inflation. So you're gonna tune into that.
It's a lot of big words there. You're going to need to break that down for me a little bit.
Yeah. I'm not going to do it. Super secret guest. First-time home buyers from loan application through buying their second home. Okay? A lot of people talk about loan application to closing. It doesn't end at closing, okay? This is the first time that they're buying a home and they're trusting you with the biggest purchase they've made in their entire life. So it doesn't end with buying their home. It doesn't end with buying their second home. You got them for 40 years if you do it right and your team does it right. And then one of my personal favorites, Kyle's going to lead it, homeownership millennial style.
Yeah, we're going to do a full episode from the perspective of a millennial. You know, I'm sitting right here in this chair as a millennial. I can tell you what's important to our generation, and maybe what the next generation of home buyers looks like coming up in the Gen Zs.
We will have avocado toast, so
Yes,
be ready.
Avocado toast.
Yes.
And maybe we'll have a guest appearance by Stella.
Yeah, maybe. I'd love to see Stella. So in the spirit of wrapping it up, because we're all busy, hey, it's Friday. It's been a long week for a lot of your family, friends, neighbors. I mean, most people work 9 to 5 and are grinding it out right now. And yes, for you guys, for realtors, you guys already grinded 5 days, and now you're going to go spend another 20 hours this weekend grinding it out. Your service heart is incredible. So take 5 minutes today, find and help someone that could be your neighbor, could be a friend, could be a family member. Help them move into the weekend with positivity. And I know that it's asking a lot, but that makes a huge difference. My wife's been gone doing cheerleading, UIL judging for the last 5 days. Total chaotic, like cheerleaders are just nuts, full of energy, right? She's gonna come home today. She's gonna be exhausted. I know what she wants. She wants a nice scented candle and the house to be clean so she can come into like a peaceful zone.
There you go.
It's gonna take me 5 minutes to do it, but it's gonna mean a lot to her. I know that there's someone in your life out there, coworker, friend, family, whatever, that could use just a little bit of positivity. So I hope you guys have a great weekend. You guys are doing awesome. I'm proud of you. Kyle?
Sounds good.
Hey, we're going to go scuba diving. We're out of here. Adios.
Happy Friday.